Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and it's Friday, and that of course means fan mail. But I've added a new feature to my Friday fan mail videos, and that is a brief question and answer session right at the beginning. Just to go over any questions that people have asked, as well as to go over questions that have come up numerous times in the comments. So you'll be able to add new questions in the comments of these videos, and I will answer them next week. And I will also pull questions from other videos that I've posted that just keep reoccurring so that I can just answer them all at once rather than having to answer them dozens of times in the comments. So, the first question that I'm going to go over came up in the video from yesterday on my new war primary, my Strifle Mark II. About a dozen people wrote in, terribly concerned about ire. What about ire? Ire is my HVZ primary. What I built yesterday was an interim Nerf War primary until I can get my new primary finished. And the reason for that is that the difference between NIC Nerf Wars and HVZ is considerable. HVZ is fought primarily at point-blank range and around a lot of people who aren't actually playing the game. And so if you take a really powerful Nerf gun, a flywheel that's running 180s or something, and you peg somebody at point-blank range, you could seriously hurt them. And if you peg someone who isn't playing in the face with a 180 rapid strike, it's quite likely that they're not going to be allowed to play HVZ on that campus anymore because you're going to hurt someone and they're going to sue. And rightly so. So that is why ire has never been as upgraded as she possibly could. People ask, why haven't you put metal gears in her? Why haven't you upgraded the motors? Why aren't you running her on lipos? Why haven't you brassed the breech? And the reason is because if I did all of those things, ire would become too powerful, and I wouldn't be allowed to use her anymore. And I wouldn't feel comfortable using her anymore. Because I've had people get shot with their hand literally on the barrel, or, inches away from the barrel when I managed to get the shot off because they jumped out of the bushes at me or something, or they were part of a horde that was rushing me and they finally got close enough. And I would feel bad shooting somebody in the face at that range with, a fully upgraded Stampede, much less a fully upgraded Rapid Strike or Strife. So ire was built to be as good as I could build her and still be comfortable shooting someone at close range. And that's why I did all of the other upgrades to her. That's why the ammo counter and the UV LED and the grenade launcher and all of that was to make her more interesting and more versatile and more powerful without making her unsafe. Now, if I were to fire, singled elites out of her Titan, yes, that would be dangerous, which is why I don't. I use her as a shotgun for that, or I use her as a rocket launcher for that. I've built all of those other attachments for fun. I never run singled. I would never run that brass barrel in an HVZ. I would barely even run that at an NIC war, but I wanted to build one because it'd be fun, and I had the parts. So that's why ire is the way she is, and why I don't use her in Nerf Wars. Now, I had her at the first Borst War, where the Pan War, where I met Walcom, because I knew Walcom was going to be there, and I wanted her to see her and make me famous, and it worked. And I brought her to the Fort Worden War because that was going to be indoors, and it was going to be a lot of close quarters stuff, which is what she was built for. Unfortunately, it was too cold and the batteries didn't work, so I ended up using, springers anyway. And around here, I've discovered it rains so often at our wars, I could never bring her out. But now that I'm here on the West Coast, I'm doing Nerf Wars more often than I'm doing HVZ, and I'm nerfing with other adult nerfers. Walcom and John and Brett and the like, who are using heavily modified blasters. And if I wanted to keep up, I needed to build one, and I've been meaning to for a while. The Strife that I built it out of, I've had it for years. And it was in that configuration with the Master Key and the Retaliator stock. But I hadn't done any internal upgrades. I'd only just put, either Trust Fires or IMRs in it with a couple of dummies and ran it like that. And it worked well enough for HVZ. But it wasn't going to be good enough for NIC Wars. I tried, and it didn't have the range that I was going to need against people using, heavily modified blasters. And I'd been given this kit by Tactical Foam, the pre-soldered artifact motor kit. And I also got flywheels and flywheel cage from him. So I put this together real quick, and I'm pleased as punch with it. So that's what's going on there. I'm not replacing ire. I'm not discarding ire, and ire is not going to collect dust because I've got better stuff now. No, ire has a very specific purpose. I built her to kill zombies, and that's what I intend to use it for. On the other hand, I'm planning to build some really cool NIC level modded stuff And this was step 1, because the Strife should be step 1. I have plans for some beastly primaries going forward. I'm just so looking forward to getting them. And I've almost got all the parts I need now for a couple of them. So that's going to be starting hopefully next week, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So look forward to that. The next question I want to address is batteries. Yes, I am moving into LiPo. Do not worry, I will get to that. I have progressed through the batteries a little bit behind the curve, I suppose. I started, when I first got Ire, the battery upgrade that I did for her was just to run, I think, 10 AA's in her. And that worked. That gave her a boost. And then I got Trust Fires, and that worked much better. But then Trust Fires were replaced by IMRs, and I moved on to IMRs. I will probably never actually run LiPo in her because there just isn't room, and because the Stampede just doesn't need it. Then you're only running one motor, and it's not running, flywheels constantly. IMRs are perfectly acceptable. But since I'm now getting into NIC, which is primarily done with flywheels because you need the rate of fire and the power, I will be getting into LiPo because that's what those motors are meant to run on. So look forward to that. I am by no means an electrical engineer. I've never claimed to be. I am a software engineer. So I'm still learning the ways of motors and LiPos and all of that. And I want to get into complicated stuff, MOSFETs and Arduino boards, and do ammo counters of my own and select fire stuff. And I want to get into all of that just because it's cool. But I haven't yet. Final question I wanted to address was melee. After I posted my shield and sword video, I got a whole bunch of comments of people asking how our combat is done, and do you really think that sword is safe, and all of that. And yeah, the nerf melee stuff that we do is minimum contact. Just all you have to do is tap your opponent, and anywhere is a target area, and you're dead. Just like with getting shot with a nerf gun. If you get shot in the foot, you're as dead as if you got shot in the head. Just because it makes it easier. A simple rule set is often a good rule set. And since we're pretty much always doing, infinite res battles where it's like capture the flag or something, it's just easier to just, I got hit, I'm out, go back, res, go back in again. Rather than bickering over, oh no, it was a foot, so it's only a wound, or, I'm not sure, just go with it. And you very, very rarely are ever going to have sword against sword combat, because anytime anybody tries that, somebody just shoots one of them, because they're distracted. Generally what you see is a shield man covering a rifleman, charging into an enemy group, and providing cover, and then trying to tap as many of them with his sword as possible until somebody, blows them up with a rocket or something. So, yeah, it doesn't need to be full Belagarth or Amp-Guard quality, fiberglass cord buffers, because you're not swinging at nearly that kind of force at these events. I do have Amp-Guard and Belagarth legal weapons, as well as post-apocalyptic LARP, my machete and my kukri, for example. And I have fought with Amp-Guard and Belagarth and the SCA and the Empire of Adria and Realms of Avalon, and I did Olympic fencing, and I'm doing HEMA fencing. I've done lots and lots of combat. I used to fight anybody who was willing, and now I've mellowed in my old age. No, the lightsaber that I built would not be legal in any system other than probably one of these Nerf wars. Because that's what it's meant for. It's just meant to be a silly melee weapon. If I wanted to make it fully Belagarth legal, yeah, I could put a fiberglass core in it, and I may in the future, and make a cover for it, rather than just having the exposed pool noodle. I don't know about the handle. They may never allow that handle, but in Nerf wars, it's fine, because the guns are hard plastic, and if you're at melee range and somebody hits you with your gun on accident, yeah. We're adults. We're careful. And we're not flailing full force. There's just no need for that. So I'm confident that it will be safe. It does have a safe thrusting tip. I did plug the end of the pool noodle, and there's plenty of space between the core and that. And the way I designed it, if I did decide I wanted to replace it with a fiberglass cord or a carbon fiber core instead, that would not be difficult. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. So if you have questions you want answered, go ahead and put them in the comments of these videos. I will also, like I said, pull from other videos if I think it's a good thing to bring up in one of these videos. So stay tuned, and I hope I get your questions answered. On to the fan mail. What have we got? I've got 2 packages. One I think I know what it is, one I have no idea what it is, and a letter. Let us start with the letter. Dear Captain Xavier, hi! Greetings from Florida. Hello in Florida. I hope this letter makes it to you in good condition. I have been following your channel ever since Walcom first showcased ire and your almost maxed out gear. I love the creativity that you bring to the Nerf community and to YouTube. I felt it was finally time to write you a letter. I write this letter in hopes that it gives you Nerf tubers like Walcom and you hope. Hope to keep going against all odds, no matter who hates you, because in the end of it all, you control the outcome. I look forward to seeing the new K26 lineup that you may have planned, as well as Jomo's items, also the never-ending absolvers and attachments that you find/create. Until next letter, James B. James, you are awesome. This makes me feel just warm and fuzzy inside. P.S. Thank you for the Nightfinder Unit 02 you did a while back. Still shoots amazingly well. Apparently, I made him a Nightfinder at some point. Well, you are welcome. And you were awesome. Yes, these sorts of letters are the kinds of letters I really like getting because it's really nice to know that what we do is appreciated. So yes, I will continue to pump out the videos that I've been doing. Hopefully my video quality will improve. Hopefully my modding quality will improve. Hopefully I will get around to having time to do commissions again. It just hasn't happened. I really want to because I really enjoy doing commissions, so we shall see what the future holds. All right, on to the packages. Packages. This one comes to me from Canada, and I'm pretty sure I know what it is. Yes, indeed. It is indeed an Elite Raven. Letter. Hey, behave yourself. Hello, Captain Xavier. I have been watching you for a while, ever since Walcom gave you a reason to YouTube. I have subscribed, and my favorite series is Can It Take a K26? Because if I wanted a Nightfinder after I found out that it could take K26, I got this blaster, the Riven, surely you mean Raven, when I was 10, I'm 15, and it stopped being used after I got a Rapid Strike, and I could never find a good home for it. But with you, I'm sure it will get used in some interesting project, or maybe even get modded. That makes me so pleased. Also, it is not as valuable here in Canada. I have found like 10 all around 50 Canadian dollars, but I did not want to sell it to become a Straven, so I'm glad you now have it. Have fun. Oh, I will have fun, and I'm fairly certain this is the fellow. So this fellow contacted me and offered to trade an Elite Raven for a modified Nightfinder, K26, brass barrel, all of that, which is a horrifically lopsided trade, as many of you will no doubt be aware. I contacted him and said that I would make him a brace of fully modified Nightfinders. I offered to paint them, but he didn't want a paint job. I don't know if he's planning to paint them himself or he just likes the natural color of them. But these have both been fully modified. They've got K26 in them. The barrels have been brass. The AR has been removed. The plunger heads have been padded. Pretty much everything that you can do to a Nightfinder. They should shoot beautifully, and I hope that he enjoys them. Now that I've got this, I will be shipping these right back to him as soon as I possibly can. So look forward to that, my friend. On to the next package. All right, now for a big one. And I have no idea what's in this one. All right then. Let's see what we've got. Let's make sure we're in frame. Ooh, what do we got here? Oh, nice. So this is one of the old Nerf guns, one of the early fully automatic Nerf guns. Pumps up the front, and then it's got a revolver that fires. And I've actually been meaning to get a hold of. I don't think I've ever seen this particular model. The Curator has a couple that I'd never seen before, but I don't recall seeing this one, so that is really cool. And people have asked about this and a couple of other blasters for K26, and most people's reaction was, well, it's air-powered, it doesn't use a spring. But it actually does. The air doesn't fire the dart. The air is what I believe pushes the plunger back. It's actually a pneumatic plunger. And then it actually does use a spring to fire it. So technically, these could hypothetically be upgraded with K26. I doubt it will work because I doubt it will have enough pressure to compress a K26, but that's never been the point of the K26 episodes. So I will probably give this one a try in a future episode. Ooh! The AirTech 3000. Now these are very, very popular for modding. What people do is they put very long barrels on them, and they typically make a cutout so that you can rear load them, and they are actually quite ridiculously powerful. And being a 6-shot revolver means that they're actually, you know, fairly useful on a battlefield. So I don't think I have any of these. I may have one of the smaller ones, but I don't think I had the 3000. So that is awesome. Thank you for that. I was hoping there does not appear to have been a note. All right, we've got some random, really beat up shells. Good stuff. Some strange electronics. Interesting. Battery housed handle. Oh, looks like something that makes noise, maybe. Possibly light, possibly noise. Some LEDs, triggers, catches, wiring, plunger heads, battery tray covers. Good stuff. We have the remains of a strong arm. Probably used the cylinder to make a drop cylinder strong arm. Very nice. Ooh. Something beefy's been done to that. Huh, 6 rounds. Oh, this is, okay, so that's from that. Oh, pink? Why is it pink? Who knows? Another 8-round cylinder, and the shells in the Firefly, which are, of course, fabulous for many an integration. I've seen some absolutely gorgeous integrations that have done with the back end of the Firefly, the Hellhound, of course, and other similar ones, and I'd much rather use a Firefly's back end than a Raven's back end if I wanted to do, you know, something with a thumb hole stock. So, yeah, and all sorts of other random parts. You can never have too many parts. You never know what you're going to use them for. So, ooh. Oh, lovely. So it's a 9-volt battery connector, but then it has clips, which would allow you to just clip them onto a motor for, like, testing or something. That is awesome. Thank you for that. So much cool stuff. But no note. Well, whoever you are, you're awesome, and thank you. Okay. Oh, yes. That is going in the pile of things to do. Bits and stuff. Sweet, you're going over here. Packing material. All right then. So, yes, thank you so much for the letter. Thank you so much for the stuff. Thank you for getting the Raven to me. I will get your Night Finders shipped out to you, and hopefully they will serve you well. And, yeah, so if anyone else feels like sending me stuff, if you just want to write me a letter to tell me how awesome I am, or to write me a letter giving me ideas or suggestions or whatever you want to do, the address is in the description box below. If you have any comments, concerns, ideas, suggestions, just want to tell this... No, let's not do it. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, ideas, go ahead and put them in the comments section below. And as always, thank you for watching.